about you. And, you know, you two have a lot in common. Very different ideologies, but you've both used similar campaign strategies. Do you take any kind of inspiration from how he reached his supporters?
You know, Donald Trump diagnosed a problem that working class Americans were facing across the country. In a cost of living crisis, he ran a campaign with the promise of cheaper groceries. Where the comparison between us ends, however, is that we are actually intending to deliver on that diagnosis, not just to use it as a means to distract from the agenda that he always intended to deliver on, which is that of persecuting his political enemies and creating the single largest deportation force in American history. I do think that it is a shame that the Republican Party has been the party in recent years of ambition and imagination, where they put no restrictions on what they believe that they could accomplish, whereas the Democratic Party, we seem to be constructing an ever-lowering ceiling of possibility. And I think it's time for us to utilize every single tool at our disposal to actually deliver on our agenda.
So do you think more Democrats need to run like you and kind of emulate your campaign style, or do you think that that's really kind of up to the individual?
I leave those decisions to any one candidate. What I would generally say is I would not be sitting here with you if it were not for the fact that we chose to listen to New Yorkers as opposed to lecture them. And I think oftentimes in politics the impulse is the other way. And when you ask New Yorkers what are the concerns that you're actually thinking about each and every day, what's actually keeping you up at night, you will find it's cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. And that created the focus for us in this campaign, and that's why we're here.
I want to talk a little bit about this idea of running for something, not just against something. And I think one thing you've done that we haven't seen in recent mayoral campaigns, I've covered a few of them, is a real sort of, you know, you're in nightclubs, you're at the Knicks game, you're riding the subway, you're walking across the bridge. What made you want to approach this campaign that way?
I wanted to run like a New Yorker. And I wanted the politics of our city to finally reach beyond the bubble of those who were already paying attention and get into the world of the place that we all call home. And if you view each and every New Yorker as worthy of the same respect, then you don't judge where it is that you might find them. You go to church in the morning, you go to club in the evening, you are walking across the bridge with those who are there with you at 6 a.m. You're also meeting the cab drivers and the nurses at LaGuardia and Elmhurst Hospital 11:30 at night on a weeknight. And I think too often politicians have spoken about the symbolism of New York City without actually speaking to the people behind it who create so much of the imagery that we love and know about the city.
What's kind of, after tomorrow, if you win, is there anything that you are... I think that's plastic.
Well, then I know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Wood paneling behind you.
Thank you.
Here,
I thought you meant behind this.
Yeah,
there we go.
Kind
Third time's the charm.
Going into Wednesday morning, looking forward to January 1st when you take office, give me an idea of like top priority once you get into office. And is there anything that kind of scares you?
I would tell you the top priority for the day after the election will be to hit the ground running. The time of transition, those 57 days, that is the opportunity to start putting your government together and start preparing for the implementation of your agenda. And I think too often transition is considered almost as if it is a ceremonial time, a time to check off the boxes that you need to, when in fact what I see this as is one of the most critical periods in the work that we will do. And I don't know what scares me. I think what scares me is the prospect of a man endorsed by Donald Trump and Elon Musk becoming the next mayor of the city.
You're talking about Cuomo?
Yes, I am. And I'm talking about him because we've seen that what was previously concerning but spoken about more in hushed tones about the way in which our former governor was starting to become Donald Trump's puppet has now become naked and unabashed in these final days, where he's become his parrot. And we've seen that with Donald Trump endorsing him on 60 Minutes, with Elon Musk putting out a tweet today saying that people should vote for Cuomo. You know, it only cost Cuomo $959 million in tax breaks for Elon Musk's pet projects to get that endorsement. And it's one I know that he's been working very hard for, and it's also one that shows New Yorkers exactly what's on the ballot.
So does it scare you because you think that this race is a lot closer than people think?
Look at this, such a quick pivot. You know, I am confident about this race, but I'll never get complacent.